I've been ruined by Ryan for 2 lives now. In my previous life I took the fall for his cousin. I was branded with the capitalist label, paraded through the streets for public denunciation, then locked up in the quarry, did 3 years of hard labor. Only when I was dying did I realize I was just her scapegoat. I was reborn. He had his arms around his cousin, his idealized love, called me filthy and kicked me into a sewage pit, even stole the medicine that could save my life for his dog. But he never expected I'd turn right around and go to the Guo family's so-called impotent son, whom everyone looked down on, and set a wedding date right in front of him. Ryan, you think I'd still be pining for you? In this life the man I'm marrying is Ethan Guo. I'll make you taste what it's like to yearn for something you can't have, what it's like to be utterly ruined. When I was dying from illness, the village healer, Ryan Song, saved me. So I willingly took the place of Ryan's cousin, was branded with the capitalist label, paraded through the streets for public denunciation, then locked up in the quarry, did 3 years of hard labor. When I finally got out of the quarry, rumors were everywhere that I'd been with over a dozen men, and was riddled with filthy diseases. But Ryan didn't look down on me, he still took me home. I thought he loved me, but then an earthquake hit, we were both trapped.
If I'd known she'd marry someone far away out of guilt, I never should have let you take her place.
Before I could even process my confusion, I closed my eyes and opened them again, and found myself back at the beginning, at the barn where I first met Ryan. This time, Ryan was with his cousin, and ignored my pleas for help. It suddenly hit me, I was just his cousin's scapegoat all along. Now Ryan has been reborn too. In this life, he's going after his truth. That look, that movement, I've never seen anything like it. Ryan, my voice was very soft, it couldn't carry far, but Ryan seemed to sense something. My heart pounded in my chest, a flush of excitement rose on my pale face. However, Ryan's gaze just swept lightly past the barn, without pausing for even half a second. I was stunned, wanting to call out again.
We're not going this way.
Why not? I thought we were going to the general store.
Let's take another path. This area isn't clean.
Huh? Is there someone lying in that barn?
Don't look. It's Mr. Peter Shen's thieving niece.
My whole body trembled, my teeth nearly chattered together. My parents died early, the family house was taken over by my heartless uncle and aunt. Those two often abused me. To avoid gossip, they spread it all over the village that I was an incorrigible thief. They even deliberately sent their son to steal from the farming collective and then framed me for it. Ryan knew all about this. In my previous life, after he saved me, he even went to my uncle's house and gave that couple a good scolding. I always thought he believed me, but now he's calling me a habitual thief with his own words. I felt as if struck by lightning, frozen in place. Was she beaten for stealing? She looks like she's about to die. How pitiful.
Don't bother with her. My Sophia is just too kind.
Sophia? Ryan called his cousin Sophia. I stared in shock, my eyes wide. In my previous life, whenever Ryan was passionate, he would hold me and intimately call me Sophia. But now it seems that gentle name he called out was never meant for me, Chloe Shen. Ryan put his arm around Sophia, preparing to leave. Wait, my clothes, cousin. But when I looked up, I met Ryan's ice-cold eyes. Before I could say a word, Ryan kicked me in the stomach.
It stinks.
Feeling better now?
Yeah, she looks just like a mangy dog.
Ryan smirked and laughed along.
Ryan.
I know you can't afford to pay for it. You ruined Sophia's clothes. I'll just dirty yours and we'll call it even. Stay away from us from now on.
That look in his eyes was exactly the same as the last one he gave me in my previous life. It suddenly dawned on me, Ryan has been reborn too. Suddenly it all made sense. In my previous life Ryan saved me, and sweet-talked me into falling for him, also that I would voluntarily take Sophia's place before her secret was exposed. In my last life, I willingly took the blame, paraded, denounced, sent to the quarry. My love for Ryan got me through the 3 most painful years. When I finally regained my freedom, Sophia had already married and moved to the state capital. I thought that was the best outcome for everyone, that from then on, we could all live well. Looking back now, a whole lifetime later, it was just my own wishful thinking. Ryan even blamed Sophia's distant marriage on me. He was only willing to take me back home because Sophia had said she felt sorry for me, and then he regretted it. I wiped the mud and water from my face, and laughed like a fool for a long time. If that's how it is, then I'll give him exactly what he wants. I staggered over to Mrs. Lu's door, amidst the gasps of surprise.
I said, Auntie, I'll marry the Guo family's impotent son.
The Guo family isn't poor, but their family line is thin. In this generation, Ethan is the only son left. But the problem is, Ethan is impotent and can't perform. A month ago,
That day, I held a pair of scissors to my neck.
Refused to meet the Guo family no matter what. In the end, it was Ethan who backed down first, so the situation didn't escalate. Less than a month later, I, who had thrown a fit and refused to marry Ethan, dragged my sick self to his doorstep. I knew how ugly my tantrum had been, and I was prepared to face some resistance.
I know about your situation. You're willing to marry my son, on the condition that we pay for your treatment. Then how can I be sure you won't run off once you're better?
I clenched and unclenched my fist, saying firmly, "Don't worry, I'm not an ungrateful person. You saved me. I'm willing to take care of Ethan for the rest of my life." Mrs. Guo looked me over for a long time but never gave her consent. Instead, it was Ethan who came out from the inner room. He was holding an envelope in his hand.
"Take this money and get yourself treated first."
I touched his cool fingers, but it felt like being burned by hot coals, warm and comforting. Ethan was very generous. He gave me a full $200. It was the first time I'd ever seen so much money.
"Go get treated first, fiancé."
My ears burned. I thanked him with my head bowed and hurried away. I remembered most of the medicine Ryan gave me in my previous life. One of the herbs was only available from a local old herbalist. I rushed over, and there was just one packet left.
"You're just in time, girl. This year's harvest season for this stuff is over. If you hadn't gotten it, you'd have to wait until next year."
I was just about to take it when a hand reached out and snatched it away.
Cousin, this is the herb that can cure Blackie.
Right.
Great. Old man will take this medicine.
But this girl was here first.
Comrade, I need this medicine urgently to save my dog. Please, let me have it.
I found
This is the last packet. If you use it to treat a dog, I saw Ryan running over. It's better to give it to treat that girl.
Cousin Blackie is really suffering.
I'll give you $40. Give up the medicine.
a sharp pain pierced my heart. My face turned pale.
I don't want your money. First come, first served.
I can prescribe you something with a similar effect.
He knew perfectly well this herb was the only cure for my illness. Yet he lied, saying there was a similar medicine.
I want this one.
Ryan looked impatient. He was about to offer more money for the medicine. An old acquaintance came in from outside and called him over.
Old man, I'll buy the medicine.
Young comrade, just give up the medicine.
Sophia pouted, looking wronged. She hesitantly handed over the medicine packet.
Don't think I don't know what you're up to. That day at the barn, you came on purpose to chase after my cousin, didn't you? Take a look at yourself. How dare you? Today, I'll show you what wishful thinking really is.
She suddenly let go and let out a shriek, falling to the ground. That forceful push sent my weakened body tumbling back. With a dull thud, my forehead hit the table leg. Warm liquid blurred my vision. In my daze, he helped Sophia up. Then he turned and walked towards me. My heart began to pound. Was Ryan coming to check on my injury? I couldn't help but feel a glimmer of hope. Even if he didn't like me that much, we had shared a bed after all. I was bleeding so much, surely he couldn't be that heartless. But he was even crueler than I imagined. Ryan strode forward, bent down, and picked up the medicine packet. He left with his arm around Sophia. The whole time, he acted as if he didn't see me. The old herbalist couldn't bear to watch. He bandaged my wound.
Hey, you gotta be careful with that. This illness needs rest to heal. Don't overexert yourself.
I agreed. I bid farewell to the herbalist and left. I walked aimlessly and found myself at Ryan's house. I looked at the familiar brick house before me. I couldn't help but remember that night in my past life. Back then, Ryan pushed the door open, his eyes bloodshot.
Chloe, my cousin's family background was investigated. Her father was a ruthless capitalist, but that was before he married my aunt. My cousin was taken away right after she was born. She was only just brought back home not long ago. She knows nothing about it. Our whole family feels for her. And now, before she's even had a couple of good days, she's going to be taken for public denunciation. I was adopted by the Song family. I can never repay their kindness. If I were a woman, I'd take her place in a heartbeat.
Ryan buried his face in my chest, tears streaming down his face. No one in the village knows who your aunt's real daughter is. As long as I insist on taking the blame, no one will suspect a thing.
But you'll suffer for it. I can't let you do that.
It's nothing. You saved my life. You gave me food and shelter. This small favor is the least I can do. Ryan was deeply moved, kissing me with fervent, clumsy passion. I gradually succumbed to his advances.
Once this is over, we'll get married.
Back then, I naively believed it was just being paraded and denounced. I could tough it out. Little did I know, what came after was 3 terrifying years of labor at the quarry, and even worse, when I finally made it out, I still had to face the town's gossip.
Her? She's the quarry's communal grinding stone?
Her wound was festering and oozing pus.
Dr. Song is truly a man of compassion and integrity.
he still took her home in that condition.
Exactly. I don't know how Chloe still has the nerve to be a burden to Dr. Song. If I were her, I would have hanged myself long ago.
Back then, wherever I went, I was insulted and driven away. Children would throw stones at me and melon rinds. It hurt. I went back and told Ryan about my grievances.
Then just go out less.
He said it so casually, as if it was nothing. No big deal, but I was blind and deaf, truly believing he had my best interests at heart. Only after I died and came back to life, did I finally see Ryan for who he really is. Lost in my memories, I didn't notice at first that the gate to the Song family house had opened. Sophia walked out. She spotted me standing there in a daze right away.
What are you doing here? I know, you're here to steal our medicine. Blackie, chase the thief away.
Sophia let out a sharp whistle. A dark shadow darted out. It lunged straight at me, ready to bite. I was still weak from my illness with almost no strength to fight back. I watched as the black dog bared its sharp fangs. Instinctively I called out to Ryan, who had come to the door for help. Ryan, save me.
Sophia, what's going on?
Cousin, as soon as I came out, I saw this person lurking suspiciously by the gate. I asked if she was here to steal our medicine again. She glared at me so fiercely. Then Blackie just lunged and bit her. I couldn't even call him back.
Then don't bother calling it back.
A sharp pain shot through my entire body like an electric current. My eyes welled up with tears. My vision started to blur. The black dog Ryan did the same as I did, picked up a rock and started beating the black dog. He didn't stop until the dog couldn't move. Only then did he put the rock down.
Cousin, it hurts so much.
Don't be scared. Let me treat your wound first. You just wait.
You were the ones who set the dog on me first. I only hit it to defend myself. Sophia was the one who came over and got bitten. What does that have to do with me? Ryan, what have I ever done to you? Why do you have to humiliate and insult me like this?
You're the one who keeps hanging around us. What else could you be up to? If you know what's good for you, stay away from me.
After saying that, he hurried into the house and slammed the door shut. It sounded like a joke to me, but as I laughed, a bitter taste filled my mouth. Ryan doesn't want anything to do with me in this life, and I don't want any connection with him either. I've already pulled myself together. I won't hold any expectations for him anymore. I hired a farm truck and went to the regional hospital for a rabies shot. Since it was getting late, I stayed the night at the regional guest house. I didn't return to town until the next morning. The moment I got off the truck, I was surrounded by comrades from the farming collective. They completely encircled me.
Chloe, someone reported you for killing their dog. Come with us to the district office to explain.
Hearing this, I immediately guessed who reported me. The usually rational and calm Ryan was actually going along with Sophia's madness. Sophia was nestled in Ryan's arms, still sobbing.
It was her. She killed my Blackie.
My first instinct was to look at Ryan. He just glanced up slightly, then looked away from me. He just kept stroking the back of Sophia's head, over and over. I couldn't help but think of my... It's not like I never felt disappointed, but in the end, I managed to convince myself. But seeing Ryan right in front of me now, it finally dawned on me. Turns out he does know how to be sweet.
Comrade Shen, is that true?
That's a complete distortion of the truth. Their dog was the one that lunged and bit first. I only threw a rock at it. Later it was Ryan who killed the dog to save Sophia. What does that have to do with me?
If you hadn't been sneaking around trying to steal, why would the dog bite you? This whole mess is your fault.
Steal? Which eye of yours saw me stealing? Slandering people without a shred of proof. You two are really something.
Dr. Song, do you have any evidence, Ryan?
His lips pressed into a tight straight line.
The first time she saw Sophia, she ruined her sleeve. What else could it be but malice?
A sharp pain pierced my heart. I forced myself to ask, what kind of person am I? How would you know? No, he should know. In my previous life he did speak up for me sometimes. When I was sick, he stayed up all night by my side. When I craved osmanthus cakes from the next village, he made a special trip to buy them. His guilt towards me might have been real. But all those feelings combined couldn't withstand a single provocation from Sophia. I laughed. Turns out when faced with utter absurdity, all you can do is laugh.
You won't admit it till you're cornered. You need a real lesson. Captain, I propose 3 days of confinement for her.
The captain clicked his tongue in discomfort.
The organization can't wrong an innocent person. Without evidence, we can't just detain someone.
Sophia's eyes darted around. She suddenly leaned in and whispered in Ryan's ear. A dark glint flashed in. What are you doing? I tried to stop him, but Ryan had already pulled out an envelope. He gave it a sharp shake. Over a dozen bills worth $200 scattered on the ground. The villagers watching immediately erupted in chatter.
Where did that girl from the Shen family get so much money? Last time she bought fabric for clothes, she traded for it with mushrooms she'd picked. Could she really have stolen it?
Sophia lifted her chin smugly.
Still saying you didn't steal? Then where did this money come from? If you didn't steal it, did you just find it?
I stared at the money on the ground. My face turned extremely grim. Ryan, what right do you have to take my things? You don't care about right or wrong. You're just selfish. You slander me for the sake of your sweetheart, insult me, and now you're stealing my things. Why do you have to hurt me like this? The grievances from 2 lives welled up inside me. Mingling with hatred, they turned into tears that I couldn't stop from falling.
Cousin, you're not. You promised me you'd get justice for Blackie.
Ryan gritted his teeth. When he looked at me again, his eyes had regained their coldness.
Captain, this matter must be investigated strictly. The dog's death is a small matter. We cannot tolerate theft.
The captain frowned as he looked at me. His tone was severe.
Chloe, if you can't explain where this money came from, I'll have no choice but to put you in confinement first. We'll deal with it after the investigation is clear.
I clenched my fists. This money was given to me by Ethan. But I didn't want to drag him into this. I gritted my teeth and stayed silent, refusing to speak. Seeing my stubborn refusal to admit anything, the captain's face darkened further. His expression grew. I bend down and pick up a $10 bill. I flick it with my finger. The banknote rustles.
Every single one has my name on it. You just can't see it.
Sophia is taken aback. She instinctively leans in for a closer look. Sure enough, in the corner of the bill, she finds a tiny character Guo written in pen. Her face changes.
What? What does that prove? Maybe she stole it from you.
What if I gave it to her?
He turns to the captain. His tone is steady.
Chloe was sick and had no money for treatment. I gave her money to help a comrade in need. Since when is giving money considered stealing?
The captain's expression softens. Seeing this, Sophia mutters under her breath to Ethan.
Don't you lie just to cover for her.
You say one more word, and we'll go to the district office to sort this out. Let's see whose dog bit first. And who's trying to frame an innocent person, and you? Where did you find this troublemaking woman? She's not from our village, is she? What's her background, her status?
Since the money has a clear source, this matter ends here. Everyone, go home.
The crowd gradually disperses. I lower my head to pick up the money. My fingers tremble slightly.
Next time you have trouble, come find me directly.
My eyes well up with tears. I don't speak, just give a slight nod.
How do you two know each other?
None of your business. Ryan's face
darkens, his gaze fixed intently on me.
Chloe, Ethan is impotent. No matter how desperate you are for a man, he can't satisfy you. Or are you just after his money?
Dr. Song, Ethan and I are from the same hometown. He took pity.
Ethan raised an eyebrow in surprise.
She's my friend's sister. What's wrong with her calling me cousin? But if you're so desperate to get married, there are plenty of normal young men in the village. Want me to set you up with someone?
Cousin, don't go ruining other people's lives. I think Chloe and Ethan are a perfect match. One's physically disabled.
That's true. When are you two getting married?
When do you think is a good time?
How about the end of the month? The end of the month is auspicious.
Good, I'll go make the arrangements. This is Chloe. Ryan walked out of the district office. He didn't forget to spread the news the whole way. The strange looks directed at me grew more and more numerous. Some were curious, some were pitying, some were disdainful, and some were just waiting for a show. I pretended not to see any of it. I said goodbye to Ethan. In the time it took to buy eggs at the general store, the villagers' gossip had shifted to Sophia. Many were guessing who she was to Ryan. I overheard a bit. I guessed it was probably Ethan intentionally diverting attention for me. I was touched. I couldn't help but think of Ethan's sharply defined face. If only he weren't impotent. What am I thinking? I patted my cheeks. I took the eggs to Mrs. Liu's house. Mrs. Liu knew what Mr. Arthur Shen was like. She had already cleared out a spare room earlier for me to stay in. Of course I wouldn't stay for free until the wedding. I gave the remaining money to Mrs. Liu. Mrs. Liu felt bad about it. She insisted on going to buy pork to braise. I looked at the already dark sky and took on the task myself. The round trip to the general store takes over 40 minutes. By the time I bought the meat and was halfway back, it was pitch black all around. Suddenly, a rough large hand clamped over my mouth and nose from behind. I
instinctively jabbed my elbow backward.
But I only hit a wall of solid muscle. Who are you? They didn't answer. They just chuckled lowly. I found an opening and tried to run. I jolted up. The searing pain was like a venomous snake, coursing from my back to every limb. I bit down hard on my lip, tasting blood.
Comrade Shen, you must have offended someone.
I immediately thought of Ryan. Could it be him? Shock and rage hit me at once, but those men didn't give me time to think. I don't know how long it lasted. The beating finally stopped. I was drenched as if pulled from water. It was Ryan, wasn't it? Ryan told you to do this to me.
You know, so why ask?
My suspicion was confirmed. I finally couldn't hold on, and plunged into darkness from the agony and fury. When I came to again, I was still lying on the gravel, stiff and freezing cold. I realized my palm was clutching. A note that had been shoved into it, written in forceful penetrating ink, was a single line. I crumpled the note into a ball. Ryan. I repeated the name in my mind, gritting my teeth so hard they nearly shattered. To keep Mrs. Liu from worrying, I didn't tell anyone about the beating. Using the excuse of needing to recover, I stayed in bed for 3 days. Then my heartless uncle and aunt suddenly showed up, demanding I go back with them, their words dripping with fake concern for me. Puzzled, I decided to go see what they were really up to. I decided to put their matter aside for now, and first gather the things I could take with me. Clink! A clear, sharp sound came from the corner of the drawer. Isn't this Sophia's thing? This gold bracelet was said to have been worn by an imperial concubine from the imperial era, later bought by Sophia's father. In my previous life I wore this. The car hadn't even come to a full stop when several men in Mao suits jumped out, their faces stern, as they headed for the village headquarters. I was taking stock of the grain at the drying ground when I saw several military green jeeps in the distance, kicking up dust as they approached.
It's the lingering poison of that vile capitalist.
I whipped my head around and met Sophia's smugly raised chin.
Comrade Shen, you've been reported as a direct descendant of capitalist forces. Please cooperate with the investigation.
The drying ground fell dead silent. All the commune members stopped their work, their eyes boring into me. My parents were born and raised working the land. How could they have any ties to capitalists?
I saw her wearing that gold bracelet with my own eyes. My cousin saw it too.
Ryan, I haven't provoked you this time, have I? Are you determined to ruin me?
I did see the bracelet.
My ears were ringing before I could speak.
Sir, this girl isn't even our Shen family's blood. My sister-in-law took pity and picked her up from the wilds. We've long suspected something was off about her. Yes, she hid a gold bracelet. We saw it ourselves.
The crowd erupted.
Search her.
I was shoved back home. 2 youths with red armbands roughly yanked open the drawers, claws and notebooks scattered across the floor. Suddenly, a sharp clang rang out, a flash of gold rolled onto the ground.
It's her! I told you so! She's a parasite on the working people. Comrade sir, arrest her!
Cover yourself up when you go out. When you come back, if you have nowhere to go, you can come find me.
A coarse cloth jacket carrying the familiar scent of herbs, a scent I was once utterly enchanted by. Now, it just... I bent down and picked up the gold bracelet from the ground. My thumb rubbed over the gold paint. I let out a cold laugh and held it up high. Take a good look, comrades. This is the so-called capitalist's gold bracelet that Sophia was talking about. Silence fell for a moment. Then various snickers broke out.
Isn't this just the toy from the general store that costs 3 cents each? I've bought quite a few to amuse my granddaughter.
What's wrong with that girl Ryan brought? How could she mistake this?
Impossible, I clearly hid it. Sophia
snapped back to reality. Cold sweat was already rolling down her face, but she still wasn't willing to give up.
Comrade, Chloe must have moved it beforehand. Not finding the gold bracelet doesn't matter. What her uncle and aunt said can't be false, right? She's not even a member of the Shen family.
I sneered. From a metal box on the other side, I took out a few photographs. On the yellowed paper, a young woman was holding a baby girl. The mother and daughter shared the same almond-shaped eyes, shining brightly in the sunlight. I slapped the photos against the chest of the head of the investigation team.
Comrade, do you need my mother to crawl out of her grave right now to prove I'm her biological daughter?
The villagers watching the spectacle seemed to remember something then and started discussing again.
Right. Why does Chloe look so familiar? She's the spitting image of her mother.
How could that be fake? It definitely can't be fake.
Looks like Chloe offended someone, huh? I heard a long time ago that the house her uncle and aunt live in now was left by her parents.
The head of the investigation team looked grim. He glared fiercely at Sophia. Sophia
Hold on, I want to report someone for falsely accusing a revolutionary comrade. You won't get anywhere with your complaint here, then I'll take it up the chain. There's gotta be someone who'll listen to reason.
Chloe, do you have to take it this far?
It's you who won't let me go. If you hadn't let Sophia get away with it, planting that gold bracelet on me, I wouldn't want anything to do with you either. Since you insist on making your presence known in my life, how can I not oblige you? You keep saying that in her previous life, Sophia married someone else out of guilt. If she were truly that kind-hearted, would she have framed me over and over?
You came back too.
Heaven has eyes. You fooled me for a whole lifetime. It's only fair I get to see your true face. That gold bracelet you tried to use against me, only I know where it is now. You should be worried. Ryan's expression shifted repeatedly. Suddenly he grabbed me roughly. He half-dragged, half-carried me to the bamboo grove behind the house. What are you doing?
In her previous life, after Sophia got married, her husband treated her terribly. He made her wash and cook right after giving birth. She's already paid the price. Can't you just let it go?
When she was framing me, Why didn't you think to stop her?
If you just let her off the hook, I'll marry you. You've always loved me, haven't you? I know, what you wanted most in your previous life was a proper wedding. I promise you, okay? Let Sophia go. Don't talk about what she did. I can marry you. We'll have a wedding, a banquet. You'll enter my family with your head held high. I'll treat you well from now on. Sophia can just have a separate room. We'll just spare her some food. She won't make a fuss.
I'm getting married at the end of the month.
Fine. I know you're insecure. You want some guarantee. End of the month it is.
I was stunned, almost speechless. Ryan thought my mention of a wedding this month was a threat to force his hand. Since his chest feels really warm, and his muscles under his clothes are all firm. That's not true. Ryan was just making that up.
So you're really determined to marry me?
I've even accepted your money. You're not backing out, are you? That won't do. You must have some misunderstanding about me. I can explain. Ethan's eyes crinkle with a smile. He reaches out and pats my shoulder. His hand happens to brush against the wound from the bamboo strips.
What's wrong? Who did this, Ryan?
Ethan's face darkens, his fists clench tight, knuckles cracking. I can clearly feel his anger. But I already owe Ethan so much. All that business with Ryan, I don't want to drag him into it. It's nothing. I hurt myself by accident. I accidentally meet Ethan's gaze, and the rest of my words die in my throat. Ethan stares at me for a long time, then he suddenly turns and walks out. Where are you going?
To get you some medicine.
When Ethan returns with the ointment, his expression has calmed down a lot.
Apply this 3 times a day, and use a warm compress when you can.
Ethan, promise me, don't go looking for Ryan. Ryan is a skilled doctor. He's very well liked in the town, and he's cunning and manipulative. I'm afraid he'll stab you in the back.
Okay, I'll listen to you. I won't go looking for Ryan.
I let out a sigh of relief, but first thing the next morning, the whole village was buzzing about Sophia getting doused with manure water by the madman. The madman is out of his mind. As Sophia was passing by his house, he dumped a whole bucket on her head. Sophia was absolutely furious. She was screaming about making him pay, but the madman's wife is the biggest shrew in town. She grabs. Could it have been him? At noon I was in front of the stove cooking porridge when the courtyard gate was suddenly kicked open. Ryan barged in, his face so dark it looked like it could drip water.
Chloe, picking on a young girl. Is that all you're capable of?
What are you talking about, Dr. Song?
Don't act dumb. Sophia is only 18. If you have a grudge, take it out on me. What's the point of bullying a young girl?
I finally looked up, strangely facing Ryan's fury. I felt an odd sense of calm inside. A few days ago, I was whipped 30 times with bamboo. Today, Sophia got splashed with filthy water. You think these two things are related?
You admit you can have people beat me at will, but I can't retaliate? Or in your eyes, am I supposed to be bullied by you, like in my previous life?
Chloe, I despise these underhanded tactics the most. The last time I taught you a lesson was also because you were spreading rumors about Sophia. Don't forget what you promised me. If you want to marry me, stop giving Sophia a hard time. Otherwise...
Otherwise what? Otherwise you'll dislike me even more.
Good that you know.
Please leave. Mind your own business and keep your people in line.
Ryan's expression shifted several times before he finally snorted coldly and turned to leave. When he reached the doorway, he glanced back at Chloe one more time.
Stop making trouble. I promised I'd marry you and I won't go back on my word. After we're married, can't the 3 of us just live peacefully together?
I ignored him and went back to stirring my porridge. Only after Ryan's footsteps had completely faded away, did I finally let out a long sigh, and realize my hands were trembling slightly. Suddenly, a whistle sounded from outside the courtyard wall. I looked up and saw Ethan. The end of the month was getting closer. Mrs. Liu personally made me a wedding gown. She has the best needlework in town. When she brought it out, everyone was full of praise. I absolutely loved it.
Wearing this to get married, I'll look absolutely stunning.
Of course, you're so lucky, Mrs. Liu. Dr. Song is the dream man for so many girls.
Everyone thought I was marrying Ryan. I couldn't be bothered to explain. I just smiled softly. All right. If you all like Ryan so much, why don't you marry him yourselves?
Oh, my husband would kill me.
The room filled with laughter. No one noticed that Sophia was hiding by the door, her eyes gleaming with malice.
Don't think marrying Ryan means you've won. I'll make sure you know that even as his wife, I'll still be the one he cares about most.
Sophia stormed home in a rage. She cried and threw a fit, forbidding Ryan from seeing me.
He wasn't to see me at all until the wedding day. Sophia, marrying her is just a temporary measure. My heart will always belong to you.
Ryan ignored me for over half a month. He only came to ask about the wedding date at month's end.
What day is it set for? On the 28th. There's something I need to tell you. Sophia wants to be your bridesmaid. It's her last wish. Don't embarrass her.
Fine, whatever.
I'll come back on the 28th. I'll be spending these few days with Sophia. Don't bother me.
In the following days, Ryan didn't show up again. I left early and came back late, saving up enough money to buy Ethan a new pair of shoes. I happily carried the shoes home, but the sight before me made my blood run cold. The red wedding gown Mrs. Liu made was cut to shreds.
Sophia, I'm going to report you to the district office.
Ryan, I didn't mean to. I'm just feeling really upset.
Sophia is still young. It's just a piece of clothing. Is it really that big a deal?
Ryan, are you blind? She's just being immature.
Chloe, don't push your luck. You've already got me. Sophia is feeling hurt. Can't you just let her have this one?
Get out, all of you, get out!
It's such a small thing. Is it worth getting so angry over? You just wait.
He left with his arm around Sophia. About an hour later, he came back carrying a net bag.
I went to the general store and bought you a dress. Sophia picked it out.
Chloe, I picked one out for you. It has little pink flowers on it.
Take it.
Chloe, don't be ungrateful.
I said I don't want it.
Fine, you don't want it. Let's see what you'll wear to get married in tomorrow. Sophia, let's go. What are you doing here?
I'm bringing Chloe a dress.
This is the latest style. You can only get it at the state general store.
Chloe and I are getting married. Why are you giving her clothes?
Ethan didn't answer. He just gave him a meaningful look.
Don't accept it.
Thank you. It's very pretty.
Ryan looked like he was about to explode. He spat out harshly.
Fine, here's something else.
After Ryan left, I brought the new shoes to Ethan. I'm not sure if they'll fit.
Perfect fit. Thanks, Chloe.
I just bought them on a whim. They're nothing compared to the dress you bought.
What a coincidence. I just bought it on a whim, too.
If Sophia hadn't mentioned earlier that it's a new style only available at the state general store, I would have totally believed him. Why is he being so nice to me? I wanted to ask, but the words wouldn't come out. While I was lost in thought, Ethan changed back into his old. On the wedding day, Ryan was already dressed and ready early in the morning. He sat in the main room, leisurely sipping his tea. Sophia was also wearing a new outfit. She even took the time to braid her hair in an intricate style. She looked absolutely stunning.
Dr. Song, why haven't you gone to fetch the bride?
What's the rush? Let her wait.
He had planned this all along. He deliberately wouldn't go to pick her up. He wanted to leave her hanging. To show her who's really in charge in this family. Once she couldn't take it anymore, she'd naturally send someone to beg him. She might even come rushing to the Song family's doorstep herself. Then he'd go over, nice and slow, to set the rules straight for her. Otherwise, once I'm married into the family, she'd definitely bully Sophia. Neighbors started arriving to offer their congratulations. Seeing Ryan still sitting there, they all asked, Dr. Song,
aren't you going yet?
No rush. Let's wait a bit longer.
Cousin, what if she really doesn't come?
She'll definitely come.
In her previous life, even until death, she was a woman who longed to hold his hand. Even knowing he deceived her, she still loved him to death. To marry him, she even threatened Sophia. Once she's married in, I'll make her spend tonight alone. Just as he was thinking this, a sound suddenly came from the distance, the sound of gongs and drums. It was incredibly lively.
See? She's here.
Dr. Song really is something. The bride came on her own.
Ryan straightened his collar. He stood up slowly and deliberately, ready to go greet her at the door.
He imagined her,
meek and submissive. His heart swelled with even more satisfaction. However, when he reached the doorway, the sight before him stopped him in his tracks. Several brand new cars. Gasps of surprise erupt one after another.
My goodness, whose family is this? How can a wedding have such a grand procession?
That car must be from the region. Who in our village has that kind of clout?
Ryan frowned, displeased. He instinctively looked over. Then his gaze froze. There in the back seat of the second car, he saw it clearly. It was me, dressed in a bright red wedding gown. I sat upright in the car, a vivid red flower adorning my hair. The car window was half open, the wind stirred my hair. My radiant face was full of gentleness. I seemed to sense Ryan's gaze. I turned my head slightly. The moment the Jeep drove away from the Song family's yard, I caught a glimpse in the rearview mirror. Ryan was chasing after us like a madman. The resentment pent up over 2 lifetimes finally began to dissipate, just a little. How could he understand how long I've been waiting for this day? When the car stopped, I didn't get out. I just looked at him through the half-open window. He was panting heavily, his chest heaving, his eyes were filled with fury.
Chloe, have you lost your mind? You're marrying him? Ethan Guo is impotent. What can he possibly give you? An impotent man.
I couldn't help but sneer inwardly. In this life, Ryan is still just as arrogant. He still thinks all the women in the world should revolve around him, that marrying him is the only proper fate. I deliberately made my tone cold. He got agitated just as I expected. He pressed on through gritted teeth.
Did he threaten you? He forced you, didn't he?
Ryan, you think everyone is like you? When the lies don't work, you resort to force. The words almost slipped out, laced with the scorn of 2 lifetimes.
I'm sorry about the wedding gown. If you're still angry, I'll even get Sophia to apologize to you in person. Now get out of my car.
I'm tired of playing games with him. Might as well lay it all out. Ryan, I was always going to marry Ethan. Have you forgotten? Back at the district office, I told you I was getting married to Comrade Guo at the end of the month. You even said I should invite you to the wedding. In the rearview mirror, he stood there, stunned. I looked away. My voice was faint. After all the times you lied to me, what's one little trick in return? In my previous life, he deceived me into loving him. He deceived me into sacrificing everything. In this life, I'm just giving him a taste of his own medicine. Letting him experience the taste of being abandoned and deceived. The car started up again. The kicked-up dust blurred his figure in the rearview mirror. I leaned back in my seat, closed my eyes, images from both lifetimes swirling in my mind. Finally, I felt free. The Guo family had everything ready. The double happiness symbol was plastered on every door and window. Ethan opened the car door for me.
You must be tired. Go rest for a bit.
I shook my head and followed him into the courtyard. My heart held no fear for the future, only a deep sense of peace. Meanwhile, back at the Song family courtyard, it must have been a complete mess. I could picture it, Ryan's furious face. I could picture the guests whispering among themselves. But none of that has anything to do with me anymore. That night, I lay in the room Ethan had prepared for me. The bedding was clean and soft, smelling of sunshine. Ethan was a perfect gentleman, standing guard outside, not overstepping a single boundary. I thought of Ryan. I thought of him lying in a cold bed right now, wondering what. In my previous life, for a single empty promise he made, I gave everything I had, only to be met with endless pain and betrayal. In this life, I want to live for myself, just once. As for whether Ryan regrets it or waits for me to come back, I don't care anymore. Dawn had just broken when I was woken by noise in the yard. Ethan was already chopping wood. The morning sun shone on him, outlining his tall, straight frame.
You're awake. Breakfast is almost ready. Go wash up and come eat.
I nodded, just as I reached the yard gate. I heard Ryan's voice from outside. It was filled with suppressed anger, as if he was arguing with someone.
Ryan, cut the crap. Chloe chose to marry Ethan herself. It has nothing to do with me.
My heart tightened. I hurried outside. I saw Ryan pointing at Mrs. Liu. Mrs. Liu was holding a broom.
Comrade Liu Kuihua, you're supposed to be her elder. How could you sell her off to an impotent man for a few bucks?
Ryan's voice was shrill. Every word was disrespectful.
Ryan, don't you play the good guy here. Chloe's better off marrying anyone but you. You're always protecting that Sophia of yours. Do you think no one knows? Your filthy thoughts? The whole village knows how you feel about Sophia. Those feelings of yours. Marrying you would have been Chloe's worst nightmare.
Mrs. Liu, don't stoop to his level. Ryan saw me. His eyes instantly reddened.
Chloe, come with me now. Ethan isn't good enough for you. He's impotent. He can't make you happy.
Ryan, my happiness is my own business. I don't need your concern.
Has he tricked you? He's just a good-for-nothing loafer. He can't give you a stable life.
Ethan had walked over at some point.
Dr. Song, Chloe is my wife now. Please show some restraint.
Ryan's gaze fell on Ethan, on the hand he had around me.
Ethan, don't think I don't know what you're up to. You just want to use Chloe.
The bond between Chloe and me is something you'll never understand.
Get lost. If you don't leave, I'll really hit you.
Ryan glared at us fiercely, then turned and left unwillingly. Watching his lonely retreating figure, I felt not a shred of sympathy, only complete relief. During breakfast, Ethan picked up some pickles for me.
Don't take it to heart. He just needs time to come around.
I'm not taking it to heart. I stopped caring about him long ago. After the meal, Ethan went to tidy up the farm tools in the yard. Just as he reached the door, he caught a glimpse behind a tree not far away of a familiar figure darting past. It was Ryan. He still hasn't left, still sneaking around watching us. Let's go inside. Don't let irrelevant people ruin our mood. Ethan followed my gaze and smiled knowingly.
Okay.
In the yard, I helped Ethan organize the farm tools. He occasionally taught me some farming tips. His tone patient and gentle. I couldn't help but laugh. Ethan, you put so many chili peppers. Are you trying to kill me?
But you love spicy food. Yesterday you said the chili sauce wasn't hot enough.
But not this much. Stop putting more in my bowl. This feeling of ease and comfort is a feeling I've never experienced in 2 lives. Here, I can act spoiled and complain without any restraint. The yard gate creaked open.
I'm going to the region tomorrow to get fertilizer. I'll get you a dress.
Really? A goose yellow one?
He was taken aback, then he smiled, his eyes crinkling. You're so playful. I leaned against his chest. My heart was filled with a sense of security. This is the life I want. This is the love I want. Chloe's hoarse cry shattered the peace in the courtyard. I turned and saw Ryan. He rushed out from behind a tree. Why is he still here? A wave of annoyance washed over me. Instinctively I stepped back behind Ethan, hiding behind his broad back.
You married an impotent man just to spite me? Don't you know you'll never be happy?
Ryan's voice was choked with tears. It sounded utterly ridiculous. What are you doing here?
Chloe, listen to me. I think I've fallen in love with you.
He took a step forward, eager to explain.
I didn't see my own heart clearly before. I thought I loved Sophia, but when I saw you smiling at her, my heart ached terribly. It felt like being cut by a knife. I know this feeling is called love. Chloe, I've fallen for you.
Looking at his sudden confession, I found it utterly absurd. The pain from 2 lives is still fresh in my mind, and he thinks one word of love can erase everything. Ryan, are you out of your mind? I cleared my throat, my tone dripping with sarcasm. Coming to my house first thing in the morning, putting on a show, go sing your opera to your precious cousin. Don't be an eyesore here. His face twisted in pain. He let out a long sigh, as if making a huge compromise.
If you really can't get along with Sophia, I can make her leave. From now on, I'll only give her $30 a month as compensation. I'll hand over all the rest of the money to you, okay? I'll listen to you in everything.
$30? Who does he think I am? That I can be bought with money? I just felt sick to my stomach. Ryan, you're disgusting. He was about to say more when Ethan suddenly whistled. A large black dog, half a man's height, charged out of the house. It viciously lunged at Ryan. Ryan stumbled backward in a panic. The dog clamped onto his pant leg, ripping a piece of fabric off with a tear. His face turned ashen. Forgetting all dignity, he desperately fled the courtyard.
Now do you understand how terrifying it is to be chased and bitten by a dog?
I looked at him from across the yard, my voice cold. In my previous life, just because I accidentally stained Sophia's clothes, he set a dog on me. I ran the whole way, falling and getting covered in wounds, and he just stood there, laughing heartily with Sophia. That fear and humiliation is something I'll never forget in this life. Ryan's face instantly turned deathly pale. His lips moved as if he wanted to say something, but Ethan's icy glare cut him off.
Still here?
Ethan's face hardened as he made to whistle again. The big black dog immediately resumed its aggressive stance. Ryan pressed his lips tightly together. Unwilling to give up, he called out to me.
Chloe, I'll come back for you.
The name Chloe was like a poisoned thorn, instantly piercing through my facade. That was what he called me most often in my previous life. My vision darkened for a moment. My body swayed unsteadily. It was as if I was back in that cold night, locked in the quarry.
Chloe, what's wrong?
Ethan immediately reached out to steady me, his voice full of concern. His warm body heat transferred through our clothes. My stiff cold limbs warmed up in moments, as if I'd grabbed a lifeline.
I'll go to the region with you.
Great. With my honey by my side, all those single guys are gonna be so
His regret came too late. Some wounds, once inflicted, can never be mended. Some feelings once shattered, can never be pieced back together. In this life, I won't look back. I thought after that incident, Ryan would finally give up. But after just a week of quiet, he barged into the grow house with guards.
Ethan Guo, you're accused of colluding with foreign spies and trafficking state supplies. We have orders to search your home.
Ryan, what are you up to now?
Chloe, listen to me. He's no good. The other day I saw him meet with an outsider in secret. He even took a stack of cash from him. There have been spies in the region lately. He must be connected to them.
Impossible. I'm with him every day. I know exactly what he does. Don't you dare slander him here.
I know Ethan too well. He's honest and kind. He would never do such a thing. Ryan must be too bitter to accept it. He wants to ruin Ethan to force me back to him.
Chloe, some people are wolves in sheep's clothing. It's normal you're deceived. Once we find the evidence, you'll know I'm not lying.
I was furious. I rolled up my sleeves to shove him.
Chloe, just ignore him.
Ethan, stop pretending. Your true colors are about to be exposed.
Go ahead, search.
The militia immediately began ransacking the place. The room was turned upside down. Suddenly, someone dragged out an old wooden box from under the bed.
This box is locked. There must be something in it.
Pry it open.
The moment the box opened, everyone froze.
This is from an injury I got on a mission. I was sent back home to recuperate.
You're Commander Guo from the combat unit.
Seems I'm quite famous.
I'm not surprised. Ethan already confessed his identity to me.
If you really are Commander Guo, why are people saying you're impotent?
Right after I returned to the village, a few agents from the hostile forces were looking for me everywhere. So I just made up this fake identity. After all, who would believe the commander of a combat unit could be impotent? It was just a way to protect myself.
Chloe, you slept with him?
Ethan and I are married. What's wrong with sharing a bed? As for you, Ryan, that's really none of your business.
How could you sleep with him? You're supposed to love me. In your previous life, you suffered any hardship for my sake. How could you forget?
Ryan, are you out of your mind? I don't even know you. How could I possibly like you? I've long forgotten my previous life. Even if I remembered, I'd just treat it as a nightmare. I must have been blind in my previous life to give everything for a man like that. Now the dream is over. I just want to stay far away from him. I don't want anything to do with him ever again.
Dr. Song, next time investigate properly before reporting to the organization. Don't waste our time here.
Ethan just gave him a cold glance. The disdain in his eyes was more humiliating than any accusation. At that moment, I could clearly see the despair in Ryan's eyes. He finally realized that I don't love him anymore. But now I have Ethan. I have a new safe harbor. I have someone I can rely on. I don't need him anymore. The militia respectfully withdrew. As they left, the militia leader deliberately took a few steps away from Ryan, as if avoiding some flood or ferocious beast.
Comrade, if you want to get ahead, you need to see clearly who's around you.
Thank you for the advice, Commander Guo. I'll be careful.
Only Ryan was left alone in the courtyard. He stood there all by himself, looking at me miserably. That look was just like mine in the previous life, fresh out of—
But I felt no sympathy at all.
In my previous life, the harm he did to me was 1,000 times worse than this. What he's suffering now is just the payback he deserves.
Let's ignore him and go inside.
I nodded and followed him into the house. As soon as I sat down, I remembered he'd revealed his identity. I couldn't help but ask with concern. Is it okay that you told them your real identity? Didn't you say there were several hostile forces looking for you? Won't this draw them out?
Don't worry, I've already investigated those enemy agents. We're about to close the net. And I don't want you to suffer any more injustice.
That's good then. Not long after, the town council arranged for me to work at the general store. I wanted to refuse at first, afraid of what people might say, but Ethan persuaded me.
In just a few months, I'll be returning to the capital, and you're definitely coming with me. Don't worry about taking someone else's spot. Besides, I have some things to take care of lately, so I might not have much time to spend with you. Think of the job as a way to pass the time.
Since he put it that way, I naturally didn't refuse. Having lived 2 lives, getting a proper job at the general store actually made me quite happy. I worked diligently and learned things quickly. Within a couple of days, I had settled in. I got along well with my colleagues too. Every day was fulfilling and carefree. I always had a faint smile on my face, but this peace was soon shattered by Ryan. The first time he came to the general store, I was sorting stock behind the counter.
Chloe, this is for you.
I glanced at it but didn't take it, my tone cold. Official business only. We don't accept personal items.
Just take one look. Just one.
I finally looked up, my gaze as cold as ice. I casually picked. A late apology is cheaper than dirt. I tore the letter in half and stuffed it into the oil paper bag of salted fish next to me. The stench hit me, but I felt incredibly satisfied. Ryan froze in place, his face turned pale, his eyes were filled with disbelief. He probably never expected me to be so heartless. After that, he started coming to the general store to see me often. Sometimes he'd bring little gifts. Other times he'd just stand at the counter, silently watching me, but I never paid him any attention. Once, he was at the entrance of the general store and accidentally fell into the roadside ditch. He cut his leg on a rock and bled quite a bit. Villagers passing by called for me to come out to check on him, but I just gave a cold glance and went back to sorting the goods. It's not that I'm heartless, it's that I know this little bit of pain compared to the harm he caused me in my previous life is nothing, and if I showed any mercy, it would only make him think there's still a chance. Make him even more persistent. I watched him sitting in the muddy water. His former obsession with cleanliness was gone. His face was a mess of despair. At that moment, I finally understood. Some mistakes can't be fixed with just a sorry. Some people once missed are gone for good. And Ryan is someone I will never look back on in this life. Not long after I heard Ryan was getting married. The bride was Sophia. This news didn't stir any emotions in me. Those two were cut from the same cloth. Birds of a feather flocked together. Unexpectedly, Ryan actually came to the general store himself to deliver an invitation to me. He was wearing a Mao suit. The exhaustion and loneliness in his eyes were impossible to hide. Congratulations, Dr. Song. I smiled naturally, completely at ease, as if he were just an insignificant part of my past. His happiness has nothing to do with me, and my happiness has no connection to him.
Chloe, I'm at ease.
I'll definitely be there, and I'll even bring you a big gift. This gift is from Ethan and me. We prepared it together. We discovered long ago that Sophia has a complicated background. She's not actually Aunt's daughter at all. She's a hostile agent. And she's the one who murdered Ryan's biological parents. We wanted to expose her earlier, but Ethan said we should wait for the perfect moment, to leave her with nowhere to run, and to make Ryan see her true colors. Ryan's wedding was rushed, and very simple. Probably because Sophia was pushing for it, she wanted to tie the knot as soon as possible. Ethan and I attended the wedding together. Sophia wore a red wedding gown, holding onto Ryan's arm, laughing joyfully. But I could see a flicker of panic and malice in her eyes. Chloe, I originally wanted you to be my sister-in-law, who knew you already had someone in your heart. Don't worry, from now on, I'll definitely live a good life with Ryan. I ignored her, and focused on gnawing my chicken leg. Ryan's gaze kept falling on me, filled with complex emotions. Just then, the courtyard gate was suddenly kicked open.
Sophia, you're under arrest.
The whole place erupted in chaos. The guests stepped back in fear. Sophia's face turned pale, her eyes filled with terror. Sophia turned to run, but two soldiers firmly restrained her. Ryan, save me.
Dr. Song, right? I advise you to stay still. This Sophia isn't the real Sophia. She's not even one of our people. She used your aunt's daughter's identity to do a lot of bad things. The most vicious time was when she was 10 years old. She pretended to be lost and asked a research couple to take her home. Then she tricked that couple into an enemy hideout, where they were tortured.
Ryan staggered as if struck by lightning. He stumbled back a few steps, almost falling. What? How could this be? It was you? You killed my parents?
I thought marrying you would let me escape from those dogs chasing me. I never thought you'd end up on the suspect list too. If I'd known, I wouldn't have come back. What a waste of effort.
Ryan suddenly raised his hand.
Ha 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 ha! Ryan, what good does hitting me do? Haven't you always treated me like a precious treasure? You hurt Chloe, gave up everything for me, and what happened? You're just a fool. A fool I played like a fiddle.
Ryan trembled all over. His mind was buzzing, a complete mess. Chloe, I had already turned my back, reaching up to straighten Ethan's collar. In the winter of my previous life, I once stood by the door like this too. On my tiptoes tying a scarf for Ryan, my eyes full of pleading. Don't pull and tug in front of others. It's unseemly. Back then, how disappointed I was inside, how heartbroken. Only I knew. Ha 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 ha. He stared at the scattered wedding candies. Happiness for 100 years seemed especially ironic. He personally held a wedding feast for himself and his enemy. And even invited me to watch, to let me witness his humiliation firsthand.
Comrade Ryan, please cooperate with the investigation.
Ryan slowly looked up, gazing at me with a dazed look. Today I wore a water-red blouse. It made my features look like a painting. He tasted the metallic tang of blood, the taste of grinding his teeth to dust. He completely collapsed onto the floor, unable to stand again. I took one last look at him, no sympathy in my eyes. No pity, only utter calm, as if looking at a stranger. Then, hand in hand with Ethan, we walked side by side out of the courtyard. Sunlight bathed us, gilding us in a golden halo. Warm and dazzling. This happiness I've dreamed of for 2 lives, I finally obtained it. As for Ryan, he has finally paid the price for his actions. He lost everything, including the me who once had eyes only for him. Some people, once missed, are gone for a lifetime, and I,